welcome to RetroLogic episode 82. I am Sam Wagers, and I'm here with Dan Caparello and John Cummins. But RetroLogic is not just a podcast, it is a whole community of retro gamers. Visit retrologic.games for our Discord link, fair trade merch, blog posts written by myself, and dive into our whole family of podcasts, including Retro Groove, a music history podcast, and On Topic Retro, a podcast dedicated to one video game per episode, hosted by our very own John Cummins. We've actually got a new episode of On Topic Retro in the works. John, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. This coming Wednesday, I'll be recording a episode on Bionic Commando as a special request from community member Chris Logel. And we have a couple, or at least another guest that's going to be on the show. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head right now, but that should be out later this week.
All right, and also a little other bit of housekeeping is the Mother Monday stream, which I guess will segue us right into our what we've been playing. I just wrapped up playing that tonight. Every Monday, I have been streaming Mother 3. And, well, I wrapped up playing it for the night. I'm not done playing Mother 3.
Okay, good. Because I just added that to housekeeping. And I
finished chapter 4. I'm on chapter 5 now. I'm like about halfway through the game.
Hi, everyone, roughly. By the way. I haven't said anything yet, but as you can tell,
hello, Dan.
Obviously there's weird things going on with me. I'm recording in my kids' playroom instead of my man cave garage because we hit 100 degrees in the garage, everyone. We did it. We finally did it. Congratulations to the garage for getting the big 100 out of the way, but I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours in 100 degrees and sweat my butt off. So I'm going to use my my fancy schmancy headset mic that sounds like this, and you guys are going to run the show, and I'm only going to talk when necessary. So have a good show, everyone.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
We're glad to have all three of us talking. Whatever it takes.
We're not going to.
We're glad you are not boiling inside your garage right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm at a nice 75 degrees inside my house. It feels wonderful.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for our current housekeeping. We'll just move right on into what we've been playing. So, Dan, what have you been playing?
Sweet.
And what have you been buying as well?
This week I bought Pokemon cards, and I'm not sorry. Not sorry about it. I'm getting into it. It's fun, mostly because my son started getting into it, and he was getting packs and stuff like. He's only 7, but he was like his friends were giving him cards, and so I got him some. I got him like. You know, on Mercari, you can buy like, here's 50 random bad Pokemon cards for $5. So we did that. And he was like obsessed with them. Like, oh my gosh, this one and this one. And he was learning all of them. And so I was like, okay, let's do this. So I bought what's called like the Battle Academy kit, which comes with 3 full decks. And like all the instructions and like a game board that shows you where everything goes. Cause it's kind of a complicated, it's not like a super simple game to play. There's a lot going on. And out of our 4 games, he beat me 3 times. So that either I'm really bad or he's a prodigy. I don't know, one or the other. But then I started buying card packs because I'm like, okay, we're going to like make our decks. We're going to do all that. And like, I finally found a Discord community of people in Austin who play and all that. So I was able to kind of get my way into the community there. So it's a thing now. I'm playing Pokemon cards. It's opening packs. It's fun. It's good times. I don't regret it. Trying to limit how much money I spend on it and only get like the cards I need to build certain decks. But
I'll have to send you guys some bricks. My local also does Pokemon cards, and they'll put together these like bricks of like 100. They're either 50 or 100 cards, and nice. they do a sale where it's like buy 2 get 1 free, so you can get like 3 bricks for like $5 or $6.
How much is in a brick?
Like it's like 50 to 100 cards.
Okay, sweet.
And they have different ones. Like some of them are just basic Pokemon. Some of them are like energies. If you guys are needing energy cards.
Yeah, you know what? I really need energies, and I don't know where people even get. Like, I bought an Elite Trainer box, which had like had like 7 of each energy, but you need at least 20 of one type of energy to make a one color deck. So I'm like, I'm not going to buy all these trainer kits. So that would actually be a really good idea to get like one for energy, one for trainers, one for Pokemon.
Next time I'm in there, I'll take a look and I'll shoot you a message. But they're usually very reasonable. And like I said, they run sales every holiday where they do like a buy 2 get 1 free type deal.
And there's some card shops in town that I have yet to check out, but I really want to, just to see like maybe they have a similar deal to get some energies. But anyway, that's been pretty fun. My son and I getting into that together. Other than non-Pokemon card related, I did finally pick up a copy of Pokemon Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance. My local had it for like $70, which like I was looking around and I'm like, honestly, that's about what those are going for. I've seen them for a little cheaper, but I'm going to support my shop, and I had some trade-in credit, so I didn't pay full price for it. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of using it as a test to see how much battery life my Game Boy Advance with the backlit screen that I modded, how much battery life it has, because I don't actually have any way of like measuring how long I've been playing any one game except for Pokemon. So I put fresh batteries in it and I started a brand new file, and that tracks your time. So I'm in 4 hours into the game with no issues with the battery at all yet. So that's, even if it like dies in the next hour, that's pretty good. 4 hours of playtime on a AA. I still want to do the lithium ion battery mod at some point, but I'm not rushing into that right now. I'm just trying to enjoy it for now. We'll do that over the next year or so. Also in Pokemon news, I picked up a copy of Pokemon Moon that my local had for $20. I feel like just if you can find any mainline Pokemon game for $20 right now, you might as well just go for it, because they're all just become expensive, crazy. So my Game Boy Operator came in, which my gosh. Dude, I can't say enough good things about Game Boy Operator. It is amazing how well it works. Like, you pop your game in and it immediately recognizes it and gives you cover art and like little tidbit about it. And then right from there, you can play it. You can download the entire ROM. You can download your save file. You can load a save file. Super easy to use. Plug and play. I love this little thing. I'm going to take it with me everywhere and like play my Game Boy games on my laptop with a controller. You know, I'm going to do some, once the garage comes back to life, I'm going to do some streaming with it. Like, I'm really excited about that. That's really cool. Such a cool device, man. Like, anybody who has like a few Game Boy games needs to invest in it for sure. Especially if you have Pokemon, because those batteries are going to go out and you're going to lose all your Pokemon. That's not good. And I transferred a couple Game Boy camera photos over, which is like such a cool feature, man. I love that it can do that. But what you can't play the Game Boy camera while it's plugged into the Game Boy Operator. At least not that the play was grayed out, so I couldn't play it, which I thought was weird. Do you know why that is?
I don't know. I haven't tested mine to see if it does the same thing.
So test yours out. The other thing that I had trouble with, which I was a little surprised with, is WarioWare Twisted actually, which has an accelerometer in it or a gyroscope in it, won't register the gyroscope if you like play the game and try to like pick up your Game Boy Operator and turn it left and right to like rotate it to simulate the movement of your Game Boy. It will not register those movements, which kind of weird. Like, why wouldn't it? I guess because it's not playing it from the cartridge, is it? It's loading the ROM onto your computer.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So that's also probably why Game Boy Camera won't work, because it's loading the ROM, not playing it off the cartridge, and the cartridge has the camera attached to it. Okay.
That's very possible.
So that makes sense as well. And it's kind of a bummer. I wonder if there's a way they can add those kind of features in where it's able to play, it's able to read the movement or the camera off of the cartridge in real time. Because they seem like a pretty solid company. Like, you know, this is the first product they ever made, and it's like a home run. So I'm hoping that they continue.
Just verified both of my Game Boy cameras are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense for how the system, for how Game Boy Operator works. It's loading ROMs. It's not actually playing the cartridge itself. So kind of a bummer, but I wonder if they'll find a way to implement those features later, or if they even care. Maybe as fans, we can let them know. It would be cool to do that.
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think their software is still technically
in beta.
Prototype. Yeah, it's in beta. Yeah. Like it's version 0.8 or something. So,
which, for being in beta, it's honestly shockingly competent. Works really well.
You can message them too. They're pretty good.
So I'm sure they've heard similar complaints, and they might be working on something. I would just love to hear from them, like what their plans are, if they plan on it or not. So maybe we'll hear about that. Anyway, Game Boy Operator, super high thumbs up. It's like I would have spent probably $100 on this and would have wanted it, but 50 is like a steal. I feel like for something like this.
I think I got Sam. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there like a early bird special on this when it first came out?
Yeah, I think it was like 50.
Is 50
like
the early?
45 or 50?
50 is the current retail price.
I was thinking I paid like $40 for it, but I can't remember.
Maybe. Did you get it off like Indiegogo or something?
Yeah. Oh, I bought it like when I pre-ordered mine.
Oh, okay. Maybe there was like a pre-order bonus or something.
That could have been, something like that.
But yeah, even at 50, it's like, I felt like I was stealing from them. It's such a solid device. Anyway, I can't praise it enough. Go buy one. So I had on my wish list on eBay this Trex action figure from Turok, and it was on my wish list forever. And then I get a message one day where it's like, the seller offered it to you for $5. And I was like, fine. So now I have this like foot tall T-Rex figure.
It looks like he's wearing lipstick.
It looks like he's got like Native American garb, and it's so silly. Like, but it's from Turok, and I was like, I guess. Like, I don't even have any other action figures, and I wasn't really going to delve into it. Except now I kind of feel like I need to, so you know how it goes.
Hey, at least need a Turok so you can like ride him.
Like Yoshi?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Canonically, does he ride
For whatever reason, I remember having a Turok action figure as a kid. I never had Turok the game, but we had a Turok action figure for.
Oh, weird!
I don't know why.
It was
I
like
got it from a yard sale or something. Yeah,
I don't know if it ever happens in the game. I'm almost positive it doesn't, but I'm pretty sure in the comic books he rides some of the dinosaurs. Like, it makes sense.
There's definitely dinosaur riding in Turok, and I'm sure he partakes, but I don't know about T-Rex. He's a boss in the first video game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I have a Game Boy lot of games on my way to me, not just Game Boy, DS stuff too, but it's got a lot of crap and then a couple games that I actually want. So we've had
Shrek 2 is one of the ones you want.
Shrek 2 is high on the list, as was Van Helsing for the Game Boy Advance. Namco Museum Tie 2, which I'm curious about. I've heard good things about those games. Don't know about the Game Boy Advance port. And Bejeweled, Twist for the DS, Clubhouse Games for the DS, which is one of the games I wanted, Animal Crossing Wild World for the DS, which I wanted, and I have a case for, just don't have the game, so that's a nice surprise. And Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance, which was a necessary purchase, even though I own that game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ways. But here we are.
That's right.
I paid $30 for this lot, and I feel really good about it. Like, Animal Crossing was worth it alone for that, almost. So And then this week, I already talked about playing Fire Red. I chose Squirtle. I have a team of Squirtle, Pidgey, Geodude, Jigglypuff, Pikachu right now. And then I have an Ekans that I'm training up. Trying to catch an Abra, but you know how that is. So I absolutely love these games, dude. The Game Boy Advance Pokemon games were like peak, like so good.
You have a reverse snake.
I have a reverse snake. I have a backwards snake. Yeah, I'm about to have a backwards cobra. So
that's right.
I just beat Mount Moon, so I'm in the next town. I forget all the names of everything, but I know what I'm talking about.
Cerulean.
That's the one.
City.
Yep. Cerulean, actually, but
or Cerulean. However you say it. It's Pokemon.
I played the first couple levels of Shredder's Revenge. I don't know what else. I mean, if you're listening to this, you already know it's like the best game ever made. And if you haven't bought it digitally, you're missing out. Which is honestly the reason why we're having a beat 'em up episode this week, is to talk about Shredder's Revenge some more. So, and then also playing Pokemon trading card game, and we already talked about that. So that's been it for me this week. Been a really light week for actually playing, aside from squeezing in Game Boy Advance Pokemon games here and there, and the trading card game. It's just been tough to like squeeze game time in. But some personal fun news is that I got a full-time job. So this company has been hiring me on contract and part-time basis for the past year and a half. And actually, it's a company my friend started. So he started a few years ago, and it kind of blew up. It's a video production company. And so he hired me this week as his lead editor. So I took the job. He could finally pay me what I needed. And so I will be actually having some weekends free, which if you know anything about my recent work, I'm not even kidding. My last day off before this weekend was May 17th. I've had weddings every weekend, full of weddings. And if I wasn't there, I was at my now full-time job. So
I was say, how many weddings are you going to do now?
I'm going to limit myself after the ones I have on the book already. Going forward, I'm going to limit myself to 2 to 3 a month. Like I'm never doing 2 on a weekend again. I'm never doing any more cheap weddings. I'm just doing 2 or 3 a month. So I'm going to be way less stressed and hopefully have more time for video games on the weekends. We'll see how that goes. So that's it. That's it for me.
You're also the proud owner of RetroLogic for the NES.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
yeah, John. So here's the story. So John sent me a non-broken PS3 controller because one of mine is broken. Very, very sweet of him. And in the box, he had custom-made a wooden NES cartridge that has the RetroLogic logo on the front. On the back, it says, "To Dan, the host with the most." Super sweet. I'm gonna get it shadow boxed and put up in my man cave because it's probably one of the coolest things anybody's ever gotten me. So thank you for that, John. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I seen the Etsy listing. The guy had like Super Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda and all these things. And so I shot him a photo of our podcast logo. I was like, "Hey, can you do this?" He's like, "Oh yeah." And
Nice.
I was like, "How long do you think it'll take?" He's like, "Oh, it won't take very long at all." He's like, "I just scan it in and it does its, he's got a
The machine.
CNC, it just puts it out." And I was like, "Cool, how much?" And he shot me a price, and I was like, "All right, let's do this." It was a pretty quick deal.
Super cool, man.
Cool.
I wonder if that's something, we'll have to talk off air how much it was. I wonder if that's something that the community would be interested in, getting like a wooden RetroLogic cartridge.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely in Discord I'll share the link to the guy that I bought it from, and I'm sure he'd be willing to sell as many as anybody wants.
Yeah, maybe
also any other custom things that anybody's interested in.
If I could do like maybe bulk pricing with him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he does great work. So
yeah,
I would definitely promote him.
I held it in my hands and stared at it for like 10 minutes because it was beautiful. It's like so well done. So
yeah, it's the logo is like just pristine, like it's perfect.
Really,
you can definitely
good.
tell it's machine made. Like it's really, really nice.
On point. So thank you for that.
Yeah, man. It's appreciation for all the help getting my show going and just keeping the community going.
Got to do it. All right, that's it for me.
Well, what have you been buying and playing, John?
I have just a whole list of weird stuff. I did some yard sailing and flea marketing like normal over the last couple weeks. Found a GameCube controller, another platinum one. Basically, anytime I see any Nintendo controllers for less than like 10 or 15 bucks, I just grab them because people in the community need them. And, you know, it's always nice to have extras. So I'm always trying to help out where I can with people that need to play games. I got extras everywhere. I also picked up 3 classic NES series Game Boy Advance games. I got Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, and Dr. Mario. So I'm down to where I only need Castlevania now. I have all the other 11, I believe. I think there's 12.
What does Castlevania go for?
Oh, they're all cheap. I think it's like $25.
Really?
Yeah, I think the most expensive one is Legend of Zelda 2. I think it's like $30. Yeah, I mean, I'm not buying complete in box, but
right,
just loose. I think the most expensive one is $30. I've just been buying them. I've been collecting them over the last little while. Just whenever I see them, and I've gotten close enough now that I've just been trying to finish it up. So I've been keeping my eye out. I've passed up on a few copies that were a little rough, but trying to get all pretty nice ones. And then while I was at a flea market, I ran across just a random copy of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the newest, well, not the newest, the, what is it, like 2012 animated series game for the 360.
Oh, yeah? Is
It's
that one any good?
Up. Yeah, it's a beat 'em up. It's just like the arcade version that's out there. And that's actually like one of my favorite Turtle series is that 2012-ish animated series. Like my son was 3, I think, 2 or 3 when it came out. So he was like prime Turtle age. Like we watched it all together, like all 6 or so seasons of it. And the, I don't know, the guy that does the voice acting for Michelangelo is the same guy that does Beast Boy on Teen Titans, the goofy one. Mm-hmm. So like I just connected with it like instantly. That the humor is like on spot, like perfect. So I don't know. So I picked that one up because it's just a good beat 'em up, like a fun one. In my local, I ran across a copy of Castlevania Lords of Shadow, the limited edition that has like the art book and the soundtrack and everything in it. It comes in the case itself is like a book, like it's hardback, and then it has a plastic slipcover. I'd never even seen it before. I didn't know it existed, so definitely picked that up, even though I already have the game on PS3, so now I have it over there as well. But it's very nice packaging. And then, let's see. I also bought Batman Vengeance for the GameCube. I've heard good things. I haven't got to play it yet. Some people in the community were telling me it was actually a good Batman game. I paid $5 for it, so I was just hoping that it was decent enough.
Sweet.
Batman games are usually pretty good. I don't have to worry about it too much. That same flea market had Monster Hunter Freedom for the PSP, so I grabbed that. And also a copy of Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. I actually don't own a copy, so this was $1. I figured I'd grab it. It's not in the greatest of shape, but it plays. That's all I needed it to do. That's pretty much all I've bought. I did buy those PS3 controllers that I split with you. I gave you one and I kept one. I forgot about those, but
yeah, I'm going to send you my broken one. See if you can do anything with it. It just will not power on.
It might just need a battery.
It's yours if you want it.
Yeah. I figure I'll just swap a battery from one of my other ones and just see what happens and then go from there.
I'm always so timid to open stuff up until I'm like, I'm going to mod a Game Boy Advance. And then I just go for it. I don't know.
Oh, I had never taken one apart. And I sat there on my break one day while I was working from home and I just got a screwdriver out and I was like, the one that I gave you, I took it fully apart, took everything out of it, cleaned it really good, put it back together.
Beautiful.
Yep. So it's been cleaned inside and out, so you don't have to worry about it.
Awesome.
As far as what I've played, I've still been playing Mario vs. DK Miniland Mayhem with the community. That's this month's Retro Rewind game. We still have 10 days left in the month, so if you're still finishing that up or haven't started, it's not a very long game. I've just been taking it like a little bit at a time. I put it down for like a week. I forgot to pick it back up, but I think I've just started the 5th world, so I think there's just 8 or 9, so it's not super long. They take less than an hour a piece if you're just going through them. The worst part is I'm trying to 100% the game, and the DK boss levels at the end of each world are the worst if you're trying to 100%, because later, in order to complete the game to get the high score, you can't lose any of your Marios.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So at some point, like later, you'll have like sometimes 2 or 3 Marios in the level at the same time, and you're trying to maneuver them to get up to the top where DK's at, and he throws things down occasionally, and even if one of them just gets wiped out, you have to start the level over again if you want to get the trophy. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, yeah, definitely go play that if you haven't got through it yet. And if you haven't started it, there's still time to go through it, and you can hop on the show later if you want to talk about it. I double dipped on Shredder's Revenge. I bought the physical and bought the digital, and I think I've got 4 levels left of my first playthrough. It's also not a very long game. I plan on trying to play through with each one of the characters to get them to full level. And see what all the different unlocked moves are and stuff. Having a blast though. It's definitely a very crisp. Just it feels good to play. Like not all beat 'em ups are made equally, and some of them are sluggish. Some of them, the attacks seem a little underwhelming. Like this one has been dialed in pretty well. Like I don't have too many complaints about it. And I'm sure we'll talk way more about that later in the show, but.
Yes.
Yep. And then the last game that I've been playing is also for an episode of On Topic Retro. As I mentioned earlier, we're playing Bionic Commando, or we're doing a show on Bionic Commando, and it had been, I don't know, at least 20 years since I've played through Bionic Commando. So I played through the NES version, and I also bought the arcade version from Capcom's arcade stadium for $2 and played some of that as well, because they're slightly different games. They're not exactly the same. So I wanted to have a little bit of experience with both since it had been so long. I don't know that I actually ever played Bionic Commando in arcade. I think I missed out on that one. But definitely my cousin had the NES game, and we played it quite a bit as kids. I don't know that I actually ever beat it, but definitely played it a lot. But that's what I've played. Sam, how about you round us off here?
Yeah, well, I have also been playing Shredder's Revenge. Of course, I bought that as well, just the digital version for me. I don't know how you guys can wait on the physical, and I don't like to double dip either. But
give me a double dip chocolate chip.
I haven't decided if I'm buying the physical yet. I definitely bought the digital just because I don't have anything else to play right now besides desperately trying to get into Strikers with no avail.
I didn't buy the crate, like the $200 one. I just bought the VHS tape one, so it wasn't too terrible.
Yeah, I've been buying new stuff pretty much. It's Shredder's Revenge and Strikers. I put my pre-order in for the DLC for Monster Hunter Rise as well. So I played the Sunbreak demo, and they kind of push you to go ahead and pre-order the DLC at the end of that. So I'm like, I pretty much know I'm going to buy it, so I'll just go ahead and do that. But yeah, that's, I've been playing all of that. I have been liking Strikers a lot, and the first season finally went live today. So each season's only a week long, and they alternate with off weeks that are also a week long. So the game launched on an off week, so now a weekend we're on an actual proper season. So now our RetroLogic Club, which you can join, If you hop on the Discord, there's a code for you there to join, and I'm the manager, so I'll approve you if you just say, hey, I want to join. And you can earn points by playing club battles. So it is, I mean, it doesn't really change anything, at least not yet. Presumably in later weeks, there will be, different rule sets that will go into effect for seasons, and you're playing the same game, but the context does make it feel like there's at least something riding on it. You're like, I want to win. I want to earn points for our club. So
there needs to be like some interactivity to this, like almost like a Splatfest type situation. Like there needs to be a reason to.
So what it does is you earn points when you play, and you actually earn a point even if you lose, just for completing a game.
Of course you do. It's Nintendo
for your club, but you earn like 6 if you win and like 2 if you draw. And you're put in a group with 5 other people in the same division. Right now, everybody's in the lowest division. But you're basically, presumably you'll get promoted if you end at the top of that group. I don't know exactly how it works because I haven't seen it play out yet. But so, yeah, we have these 4 other clubs we're kind of competing against to see who can earn the most points by the end of the week. But we're playing against just anybody we can connect to. Right.
How many slots do we have left?
We're at 11 people right now.
Out of 20?
There were some people who joined that I'm not sure if they just like found our club randomly. I don't know who they are, but I approve them because I'm like, whatever, warm body. I'll boot you later if we need room.
They should probably identify themselves if they're.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know we have like some refugees coming from other podcast communities because their clubs are full.
Refugees.
that's what it seems like.
Well, it does cap you at 20.
Everybody's
right now we're at 11.
The
more people the better, because that actually creates your roster for characters you can choose. Each person picks a person, outfits them with gear, and you have to combine 5 of those to make your team when you play, even if you're playing by yourself. If you're playing a club match.
Okay. So when I finally, I think I actually already joined.
Yeah, you joined.
So if somebody else joins, we should like tell them, hey, choose this person or whatever.
Yeah. You at least want to coordinate to where like we at least have a good spread of like if we need somebody with high shooting, like I changed mine to Rosalina and I nearly maxed her shooting stat because I feel like we're always going to want somebody who's just great at taking shots. But yeah, I've actually been having a lot of fun with it. It was infuriating trying to beat the Galactic Cup championship, but I did that. So after banging my head against a wall, and that has prepared me for some of the competition online. I am having fun. Like that doesn't excuse how the game's kind of thin on content. We'll see what they add. They're adding some stuff, but we'll see if I'm still having fun at the moment. That's what matters. And of course, as we mentioned before, I've been playing Mother 3 on Mondays. And the last two Tuesdays, which is kind of just a variety stream day for me, but I'm still streaming on Tuesdays as well. I've been playing Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite for the Game Boy Color.
Yes, very good. Which
is a game I've had a long time and never beat, even though it only takes like 3 hours to beat it. So I finally did. This last week, I finally beat Ham Hams Unite. It's not the hardest game ever, but
you did it.
I still feel accomplished doing that. At least I rolled credits. There is like a post game. I didn't 100%. Didn't get all ham chat words.
So like a mega boss.
Yeah, something like that. No, there's like shooting stars that fall, and you're supposed to go find them, which is just kind of like an extension of the existing game. And then also filling out your dictionary. There's like 80 something ham chat words to collect. I only had like 70. But yeah. And the other thing is just last night I got sucked back. I'll just mention it. Just last night I got sucked back into Crusader Kings 3. Realized there was another DLC that dropped, this time targeting like special events in Spain in the Iberian Peninsula. And so I made a new custom Waluigi character because I still have my character DNA to make my character look like Waluigi. And I actually did Iron Man mode and became very successful very rapidly. So I started in Navarra in Spain, like one of the smaller kingdoms in the 867 start date, and managed to marry into French royalty. And then so Waluigi the First lived forever for some reason, just by pure luck. So he lived to the age of like 90. He actually outlived all of his kids.
Oh my gosh.
But one of his kids had a claim on the kingdom of Aquitaine. So I actually like just kind of pressed that claim once they split after their succession, because his brother-in-law died, who was the former king of Aquitaine. And I'm like, okay, my kid should be king now. I'm going to go to war with you. And you just lost a war, so you have like no troops. So I basically got a whole second kingdom in one swoop. And handled the first succession pretty well. So now I'm actually playing as his grandson, because he outlived all of his children. His grandson, Waluigi II. And also, the thing I thought was just wonderful, when I created him, because every time I create a Waluigi, I give him the lunatic trait, just because he's Waluigi, why not? And so, as a result, he became convinced that he himself was made of glass. And so he actually developed, and he built a monument out of glass in his capital city. And so he gained the title Waluigi, the Man of Glass, which was geez. It's just, I don't know. That game is just a riot. Just the weird things that happen just from procedurally generated events and stuff. So it's always fun. I'm going to have to stream that at some point, even though it's not really retro.
You're making me want to pick this up just listening to it.
It's actually, I think it's still on Game Pass for PC if you have PC
is it?
Game Pass.
Yeah, I have it.
That way.
Check
it
out,
was on Game Pass.
I just love the way that you play those games. It's just like...
Well, it's very much, it is, and I would call it a role-playing game, first and foremost. It is the most role-playing game because it makes you play a role.
Nice.
Above and beyond anything else. It's not what people would usually call an RPG, but there's a bit of a learning curve to how everything works. It's weird because then you'll feel like you actually understand medieval succession laws when you get through all of it. But yeah, it is an acquired taste, to be sure. But it's one of those that and partly because I knew I had the day off today since it's Juneteenth, but I stayed. It had been a while since I stayed up late playing a game because I just lost track of time. But it can have that effect on me where I'm like, I want to see. I mean, I was just waiting for Waluigi the First to die. I was like, when's he gonna die? He's 90 years old.
It's downloading right now.
Nice. I do recommend the tutorial, and the fortunate thing about 3 is the tutorial's a lot better than it was in 2. 2 did a very poor job explaining how the game works to you. 3 is a bit better. It's not even so much a tutorial as just a suggested start point that gives you a lot of tips. And then it kind of just turns you loose at the end of it and lets you play the game.
That's the best kind of tutorial where it's not like baby steps. It's like, here's the actual game, and so slowly you'll just
as long as you weren't dead set on playing some other ruler, they'll start you out as an independent count in Ireland, which is nice because in Ireland you generally don't have to worry about anyone outside Ireland for a while. The English won't bother you for some time at least. But
nice.
it's Crusader Kings 3. I could talk about it for a while, but not exactly retro, so we should move on and play some Prices Retro. What do you say?
If this is your first time playing Price is Retro, this is how we play. I'm going to list off 4 or 5 games. Everyone else has to guess how much the games are worth in total. Whoever guesses the closest wins that round, and the next person goes their list. Everyone has a list and everyone guesses. At the end of the game, whoever won the most rounds wins the game. But look out for Poltergeist. He guesses $300 on each list, and if he wins the game, I have to give away a sticker from the merch store featuring Poltergeist in his sloppy, gross out 90s humor glory. I want to get some shirts out. I want to try to get some shirts out before Halloween so people can rock it, in the ghostly time of year. Might throw an interest survey in the Discord and see if anybody is down for wearing a nice fair trade cotton comfy t-shirt with a poltergeist on it.
Will Poltergeist glow in the dark? That's the question.
Oh, and the place I order from doesn't do glow in the dark ink.
Do it? Oh,
man.
I wonder if I can get something that will I'll paint over it and they make it glow in the dark. That would be amazing. Maybe I'll email them and ask them. I know, but in order to get I'm not going to not do fair trade fabric, so it has to be kind of the perfect storm. But anywho, let's play some Prices Retro. We actually have a guest list this week. Spider-Shan sent us a list, so way to go, Spider-Shan. Thanks for that. I think I'm actually going to go first here this time. I don't remember who went first last time, so I'm just going to do it. These are all high-profile PS1 games. I just had PS1 on the brain lately, so we're going to do that. And here we go. We have Valkyrie Profile for the PlayStation, complete in box. Metal Gear Solid, complete in box. Silent Hill, complete in box. And Parasite Eve, complete in box. These are all PS1 games. And John, I think you're going to guess first.
I'm going to say $450.
Okay.
I'm going to guess $250.
Okay. Actual retail price is $664.20, which means John is the winner. So for some reason, Valkyrie Profile is now a $365 and 57-cent game.
I knew it was high. I undervalued a couple.
Either I'm thinking of a different game, or the last time I saw its price listed, it was much lower than that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Metal Gear Solid, a humble $40. Silent Hill, $179.88. No real surprise there. And then Parasite Eve, right where I thought it would be at $78.75. Valkyrie Profile just went bananas.
I had that one at $200.
Yeah, which is that's a lot, and that's still
the difference between my guess.
Yeah, crazy. PlayStation, a little bit of a blind spot for some people, but yeah. Okay, John, you want to go next? So John's got a point there.
My list is all about the topic for today, which is beat 'em ups. So,
all right.
First game is King of Dragons Loose for the Super Nintendo. The second game is Guardian Heroes, complete in box for Saturn.
Guardian Hero, okay.
The third game is Dynamite Ducks, complete in box for the Master System. Fourth game is Crimson Tears, complete in box for the PS2.
Bro, I don't think I've even heard of any of these games.
You know Guardian Heroes, come on.
The Guardian Heroes, yeah, that's the one.
Guardian Heroes, yeah.
I forgot about that one.
These are all very obscure, except for Guardian Heroes, beat 'em ups.
And Sam's going to go first on this one.
These were all complete in box?
Yeah.
Except for King of Dragons on the Super
King
Nintendo.
of Dragons on the Super Nintendo is loose. Okay. I have no idea. I'm just going to say $350.
Okay.
I'm going to say $500.
All right. So the total of my lot is $432.12.
Ooh, nice.
So Dan takes it just by a little bit.
I know, just barely.
Let's see, 60. Yep.
So I was off by 82. He was off by 60.
Yeah,
68.
You were off by like $15, Sam, from Dan.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, King of Dragons is a nice little gem on the Super Nintendo. I think the complete in box is like $400. Yeah, the loose is $119.95. Guardian Heroes complete in box for the Saturn is $209.30. And then Dynamite Ducks complete in box for the Master System, a measly $32.87.
Are they actually?
I figured there aren't many Master System games that are expensive. I know the only one that really is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Phantasy Star is also pretty. It's like $100.
There's a few of them up there.
Crimson Tears
are they
complete in
actual
box.
ducks fighting each other or what?
Yeah. This Dynamite Ducks looks awesome. Like I want to pick this game up now. I didn't know it existed. But also, Ducks is spelled DUX if you're looking for it.
I assumed so.
And also, I always forget how to spell dynamite because I always want to put an O in it. Dynamite.
Mm-hmm. Literally dynamite.
Yes, dynamite. Crimson Tears for the PlayStation 2 complete in box is $70. So
it's honestly high for a PS2 game.
It is. I was going to say it's a pretty high dollar PS2 game. That one's also on the list of ones I'd like to find at some point just to try out. Beat 'em ups are usually pretty good. It's hard to mess up that formula. But yes. So now at Sam's list.
Yep, now it is my list. And I believe it's your turn to guess first.
Okay.
So I also made my list with Turtles on the brain, but not exactly beat 'em ups, not even exactly Ninja Turtles games. These are all games that were also based on TV shows that took a little bit of inspiration from the Turtles. So I have Biker Mice from Mars for the Super Nintendo, Loose.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
SWAT Cats for the Super Nintendo, Loose.
SWAT
Gargoyles for the Sega Genesis, Loose.
Okay.
And lastly, Bucky O'Hare for the NES, Loose.
Oh, man. I forget where Bucky O'Hare lands. It's my guess first.
Yeah, it's your guess. I was going to say, I think it's your guess first.
Gosh, I forgot where Bucky O'Hare lands.
Is it? No, because you guessed first on...
I guessed first on Dan's list.
That's right. Yeah.
I have a method. I have a method to this, okay? It's the order in which I see you on my screen, so...
Gotcha.
I'm going to say... All right, I'll just go with it. I'm going to say $700.
$700, okay.
I'm going to say 500.
It's probably more accurate.
It is definitely more accurate. The total value is $505.94.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
So Biker Mice from Mars comes in at $81.71.
I thought that was like a $300 game.
No.
What is wrong with
higher, I have that game. It was definitely gone up in value since I bought it in 2008 or whenever.
Crazy kids.
But no, it's maybe complete. I mean, what is it complete? It's $226 complete. But at least it's $81. SWAT Cats comes in at an even $200.
Yep, I knew that was a high one.
Gargoyles at $39.23, and Bucky O'Hare for the NES at $185.
Yep.
Well,
Gargoyles is the one I guessed on. All the other ones I had a pretty good feel for.
I had a pretty good feel for all of them except Biker Mice, which for some reason I don't know. Weird.
We also have a guest list, right?
Yes. Let me pull that bad boy up. We have Spider Shan. We haven't had a guest Prices Retro in a little while. You guys need to hit that. It's fun. It's good times. Spider Shan. He says the theme is same name, different genre. Nintendo versus Sega. Okay. So here we go. I've got my screens pulled up. We're going to... he has them sent to me all spoiler tagged, so I'm going to unspoiler them one at a time and read them and write my price that I think. And we're going to see who wins at the end. Game number 1 is Tailspin for the NES, complete in box.
Ooh.
Game number 2 is Tailspin for the Sega Genesis, complete in box. Game number 3 is Batman Returns for the Super Nintendo, complete in box. Game number 4 is Batman Returns for the Sega Genesis, complete in box. Game number 5 is Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo, complete in box. And game number 6, finally, is Jurassic Park for the Sega Genesis, complete in box. All right, let me add up my total here.
Who's going first this time?
I guess we'll start over with John going first.
I'm going to say $600.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to say 340.
Okay.
I'm going to say 470.
Okay, all right. All over the map here.
Spread.
Nice even, yeah. All right,
One of
here
us
we
has
go.
got to be kind of close, right?
Total value is $338.74, which is like $1.25 off of my price. Oh my gosh.
$1.26. You said 74, right? Or 75?
Yeah, 74.
Yep. $1.26 off.
That's bananas. Okay, let's see our individual prices. Tailspin for the NES is $80.01. Tailspin for the Sega Genesis is $25.97. Batman Returns for the Super Nintendo is $136.95. Batman Returns for the Sega Genesis is $27.49. Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo is $49.77. And Jurassic Park for the Sega Genesis is $18.55. That's crazy. Here he goes, his quick explanation for the game. Tailspin on the NES is a horizontal shoot-'em-up, while the Genesis is an action platformer. Batman Returns for the Super Nintendo is a beat-'em-up. Genesis version is an action platformer. And finally, Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo is a mix of top-down action with first-person shooter sections. And the Sega Genesis version is, again, more of an action platformer, but you get to play as the Raptor, which makes the Sega Genesis version obviously more superior. It's my own note put in the end there. Spider Shan, thank you so much for this list, dude. Super appreciate it anytime you guys send us lists. If you listening at home want to send us a list, all you have to do is DM me. DM me on Twitter, DM me in Discord, and I will give you some very simple instructions on how to do that so that it's all protected and fun for the show when we read it off live. We've got a few other games to play. Also, congratulations to me for winning this round of Prices Retro.
You won the whole thing.
I did.
Yep. Your differences were closer than mine.
Oh, would you and I tie?
We did. We both had 2 wins.
Yeah, you both had 2. I had 0.
My total was 220, and yours was $69. So yeah, you were way lower.
I missed that in my notes. Double win for me. Our next game is going to be Spot the Fake, which Sam said that he had a list for us.
I made a Spot the Fake list.
Let's do it.
Got a literally dinosaurs theme this time.
Love it.
Yes.
I've got 5 titles here. 4 of these are real games that exist, and one of them is one that I made up. So you have to guess which one. I'll just read them in no particular order. We have Evolution Dino Dudes, Caveman Ugg Olympics, that's UGH Olympics, Dino Strike, Dynamite, and Dinosaurs for Hire.
Okay. The only one I'm 100% sure of exists is Dinosaurs for Hire. Dynamite probably exists.
I think it's the UGG.
You think it's
Caveman Ugg Olympics?
UGG Olympics.
Because Caveman Games is a thing. So maybe I'll go with you on that. Because I think if I'm like thinking about Sam's like methodology, he like thought of Caveman Games and then was like, I'm going to make a pun here. Okay, let's do it.
Is that your final answer? Caveman Ugg Olympics is fake?
Let's do it.
So Caveman Ugg Olympics is in fact real. Came out in 1988 for the Commodore 64 and on the NES in 1990.
So then it has to be the first one, whatever the first one you said was.
Evolution Dino Dudes came out in 1992 for the Atari Jaguar. So it's actually the Atari Jaguar port of The Humans, which was like a Lemmings-style game featuring cavemen. Dino Strike came out in 2010 on the Wii. Dynamite, as best I can tell, is a title that no game has ever used. I just made it up.
Dinosaur, Dino,
Dino-Might. Yep. Nope.
Sam,
I cannot find a game with that title.
There is Dynamite Knight. Oh, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Never mind.
See?
Sam, that's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe it either.
There's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Dynamite Knight.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Is it a dinosaur?
Honestly.
I don't know. Let me look at
There's a whole creature class in Yu-Gi-Oh called dinosaurs, okay?
He's... I don't know. He looks just like a dragon with armor. But he's a person at the same time.
They all look like dragons.
Now, okay, so is he a dragon or is he a dinosaur? Because those are actually two different creature types in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Now you're going to make me look at the...
And sometimes it doesn't make sense which one it is.
He's a true Draco fighter. I don't know how to tell what he is.
It should be.
When did
it should be just under the portrait.
Yu-Gi-Oh logic. I'm not okay with this.
I don't know if I can.
Anyway, Dinosaurs for Hire is in fact real, as Dan said. It came out in 1993 on the Sega Genesis.
I like it. It's fun. It's a fun game. Good deal. Thanks, Sam. That was fun. We're going to do a game called Games Described Badly, or as the ambassador likes to put it, Horrible Logic. It's his name for it. I'll go with it. I'll go with that name. So here's the deal. He has sent us 6 games described terribly, and we have to guess which game they are. The theme of this one is Game Pass Gems. And if we get 4 correct, he's going to draw a picture of John and Sam sharing a drink with a Ninja Turtle. And if we get 4 wrong, we're going to get a picture of Dilbert doing your taxes while Sam and John are crying. I want to see Dilbert, but I'm not going to sabotage us.
Sam is indeed a dragon.
We got to win. Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
He's a worm.
Okay. Here's game number 1. The opposite of found in orderly organization. Lost.
Civilization.
Is that a game on Game Pass? I don't know Game Pass that well, so you guys are probably going to have to take
Hold on,
this.
what was the second half?
The opposite of found in orderly organization. Chaos?
Orderly organization.
Lost chaos?
Lost office? Lost bureau? Lost...
No, this is all opposite.
Oh.
So what's the opposite of orderly?
Oh, opposite of organization too. Okay.
Yeah.
Opposite
I remember
of
we made that mistake once
lost,
before.
Opposite
We're
of
not gonna make it again.
organization.
The opposite of orderly would be disorderly. Lost.
Discord.
And then organization. Opposite
Chaos.
of organization.
Well, we're not doing very good on the first one.
Nope.
It's on Game Pass.
On Game Pass.
What recent games begin with the word lost? Lost Planet, Lost in Shadow.
Lost Planet's not a recent game.
Whatever. It could be on Game Pass.
Maybe.
Lost.
What was
Lost Ruin? Yeah, it's nothing's clicking.
I can hear somebody listening to this podcast right now screaming it at us. But I just don't play. I don't have Game Pass. I don't know.
I have it and I don't know this one, so.
All right. Okay, should we move on? Let's move on for now. We'll come back to it. Okay, game number 2. An ice dude, a fire dude, a battle toad, a skeleton, and a wolf fight it out. Is that Killer Instinct?
That's Killer Instinct.
Yeah, and I also know the first one. It's Lost in Random.
What is that?
Oh, I see it.
Well, orderly organization is the opposite of random. I believe Lost in Random is a Square Enix game.
It's that one where you have a
wrong.
dice guy that you throw around, and I don't really know anything about it. I just know that it exists.
All right, so we have 2 now because I'm fairly confident.
Lost in Random, Killer Instinct.
Okay, for those 2 for sure. Actually, let's find out what the answers are. So, answer 1, we're solid on Lost in Random.
It's got to be it.
Okay, we're gonna guess Lost in Random, and the answer is Lost in Random. We guessed Killer Instinct on number 2, and the answer is Killer Instinct. We're going to do it this way now because it's less confusing for the listener, I believe. Game number 3. It's like Starfield, but it has commercialism and bullet time. Borderlands 3?
Or would it be
just Outer Wilds?
Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds have bullets.
Outer Worlds does have bullet time.
It does.
Yeah, it's like their version of
it's Fallout.
It's not quite VATS, but it's pretty close to VATS because it's basically Fallout in space.
Because it's Obsidian or whatever. Answer number 3. We guessed Outer Worlds, and the answer is Outer Worlds. Good job, us. Okay, we get one more.
Confused with Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
Nope.
Which we're still waiting for on the Switch.
We get one more correct, and we get your deal. We get John and Sam sharing a drink with a Ninja Turtle. I'm ready for it. Okay, question number 4. If cocaine succumbs to gravity, it's called. And then in parentheses, this is also the third one.
What?
If cocaine crackdown, it's crackdown.
Crackdown 3.
Oh, yeah.
Crackdown.
Okay.
That's funny. I like that. Okay, Crackdown 3, we guess, and the answer is Crackdown 3, of course. And we get our picture. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Wonderful pixel art artist who makes a lot of the art for On Topic Retro. Really good stuff. Game number 5. Carry on in capitals, my wayward monster. Carry on.
That's the game, Carrion.
Carrion? All right. Is it Carrion? The answer is Carrion, spelled differently, but
there you go. Swept it.
John is saving us right now. Yeah, okay, question number 6. Say the opposite of these words. So the words he wrote are moon, rise, under, park. And if I read the opposite, it's sun, down,
above,
over,
or
city.
Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset
Sunset
Overdrive.
Overdrive. There you go.
And it is Sunset Overdrive. Guys, we got all 6 right.
That's a game that it was way better than what people give it credit for. Like when it launched on the Xbox One, like a lot of people passed on it, and it was great.
Yeah, why did people pass on it? It looked amazing.
I don't know. It's a great game, though.
Anyway, Ambassador, thank you. Thank you for your always submitting lists and stuff. We've got one more game from him. He's got a fact or crap for us. He has 6 facts, and we have to guess whether these facts, video game related usually, are true or false. And we're not very good at this one, but you know,
we played anyway.
If somebody's here's my thing. If somebody sends us a game, I'm always going to include it. Like every time. Because this is like my favorite part of the show. All right, here we go. Fact or crap. Fact number 1. Superman 64 was slated to be released on the PS1 in the year 2000.
I'm going to say false.
Okay. Sam, what do you think?
I don't know.
Usually games go the other way around.
I'm 50-50 on this one. But yeah.
Very few games are planned for PlayStation and then wound up on N64. It was usually planned for N64 and that's PlayStation.
I can think of a couple games that did it that way, but I don't think Superman 64 did that.
It might have benefited from it if it did. Sorry, Seth.
Being on PlayStation?
Yeah.
What? What would have been worse?
I don't know. Maybe they would have went a different direction with the game.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so we're going to say false on that one, and the answer is it's true. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
And then he says true, and maybe it wouldn't suck. JK, it would.
Yeah, my logic wasn't very sound, I guess.
No. All right, fact number 2. Doom 3 was originally a PS1 project, but it got canned when next-gen technology was released. Doom 64 was the model they would have used. I can see this because Doom 64 is pretty rough. Compared to like other first-person shooters of the day.
I mean, I could see that. Like maybe they couldn't figure it out on PS1, like in 3D or whatever. Because I mean, Doom 3 came out, like actual Doom 3 didn't come out till like Xbox 360 era.
Right. So we're gonna say true on that one.
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
I guess.
Sam, do you have any input?
I don't know anything about Doom, man.
All right. I like Doom. Doom is one of my favorites. No, that's not true at all. The game was doomed from the start.
Okay, so whatever I choose, we're going to do the opposite from now on.
Okay, all right. Let's try that strategy. That's a good strategy. I'm so bad at this. All right. Fact 3. Earthworm Jim 3D and Indiana Jones The Infernal Machine were canceled before they could make it to PS1. I mean,
I'm going to let you guys go.
I don't think Earthworm Jim 3D was ever planned for the PS1.
I don't know that it was, but I haven't followed Earthworm Jim that closely.
Yeah, I think this is false. I think this is false. Does anybody want to fight me on it? John, you're staying quiet because you're afraid to say.
Yep, I'm out.
Okay, all right. I'm going to say false.
Okay, false.
And this was true. So,
oh gosh.
So we can't trust you either. It's up to me then.
Oh my gosh.
Sam has to save us.
Right. Okay,
no.
Sam, this is your guess on number 4. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. The original idea for Pikmin was a GameCube demo that showed 128 toads running around Mario's world.
False. There were 128 Marios.
And the answer is crap. It was actually 128 Marios indeed. And that was one that we all actually knew.
Yeah, finally one that we knew.
Okay. Sam, we're just going to make you guess the rest of these because
man.
you got that one right.
Clearly,
right,
I'm the champion here.
Fact number 5. The Donkey Kong soundtrack had a CD that was in the shape of Diddy Kong's head, and it was unplayable. That's true.
True.
Yeah.
I've seen that CD.
Yep. I would like to buy one off of
Donkey
eBay,
Kong
but
Country 2?
yes.
Did he have that in the thing? Or does it say Donkey Kong Country?
Oh, it says Donkey Kong Country, which is false. It's Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah. See?
So
We almost messed it up.
well, let's see what he said. Like, we know what the truth is, so we'll see what he says. If he's, yeah, okay. So he says true.
So he must
Now I
have
want
the
to
second
double
game.
check. Hold on, Donkey Kong soundtrack, Diddy face.
Maybe it
Hold
was for
on.
the first game. I'm not sure.
Hold on.
It would make more sense for it to be for the
Actually,
second game.
That's
hold
what I
on.
was thinking.
Actually, we're all wrong. It's for Diddy Kong Racing, which makes
On
sense
N64.
because the other one was Yoshi's Story, and I remember that. And why would they put an N64 game with the Super Nintendo game? They wouldn't do that. So all of us were wrong, including the ambassador. So we're going to scratch that one from the record. Know your facts, people. And it was unplayable. If you put it in a feeder CD player, like the kind that like in your car that takes those shapes of CDs, it will actually get jammed in there and not play, and it'll break your CD player.
But will it play on one where you actually like push the CD down?
Yes, it'll play on one where you like pop it on the thing and push the door down, like a PS1 style. It'll play on that, but it won't play on like a Wii style.
How much
fed.
are these?
Pretty expensive.
I've never seen one, I don't think.
Because everybody broke theirs inside their car CD player.
They're pretty pricey now. I almost never see them up on eBay. So go see it. Diddy Kong Racing CD or Yoshi's Story CD.
Okay.
Find me one on price. Fact number 6: the X Band was a peripheral that could make Genesis and Super Nintendo go online. That's true. And it is true. Okay, so we got 3. We got 3 out of 6. Not that bad.
You led with all the hard ones.
Yeah. Ambassador, thank you for always sending us lists. If you guys want to hear more from that gentleman, he has a podcast called Warriors of WASD, which is a retro PC gaming podcast. Very, very high quality, good stuff. Go check it out. Warriors of WASD is the name of the podcast. John, do we have a price on that?
I was trying to find it. I don't see it.
They almost never pop up. And when they do, it's usually like $120, $200.
I actually am more interested in the Yoshi one.
Well, okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. But
there's pictures of it for sure, but yeah, they don't pop up often. I think most of them are like claimed already by collectors, so there's no reason for
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the next one that pops up is probably going to be like $400, and then some idiot's going to buy it.
Well, do we have a trivia card for this week?
I do.
Let's do it.
So, the first question is, what type of creature is Alduin, the main villain of the video game Elder Scrolls V Skyrim?
A dragon?
Sam, that's all you.
Is a dragon.
Okay. It's a
Skyrim's
dragon.
the one with the dragons.
Yes,
I
dragon.
know that much.
Alrighty, dragon is correct. All right, well, next one is the video game Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker was released for which console?
The Gamecube.
PlayStation 3. Atari Lynx.
You guys are all wrong.
Atari Jaguar. Okay, I found one. I found one on eBay. Diddy Kong Racing official CD soundtrack, disc only. Wait, hold up. Okay, not disc only, but it does not have the front sleeve. It only has the back sleeve. Anybody want to guess what this guy's asking? Sam, you want to guess?
$500.
$300. $10 shipping. That's for no front sleeve. So
it is pretty crazy, like the shape of it.
I know, man.
Mm-hmm. What? Oh, here's one. Excuse me. Oh no, that's Donkey Kong 64. There you go.
That
Dan.
would look pretty
$40.
cool in one of those like portable CD players with the translucent cover. You could see Diddy's head spinning around.
The Japanese Yoshi Story soundtrack does not have Yoshi's head shape, but it does look pretty cool, and it is $600. So, I think we're kind of SOL with that one. That one's not coming home.
Yeah, I don't see that one anywhere.
With that though, guys, let's do our show topic. And Sam, you're gonna show run this because I sound like a robot with a cold. So, after this,
Okay.
it's show topic time. Beat 'em ups. Let's go.
With Turtles coming out, we were just thinking about beat 'em ups, got them on the brain, and we did send some stuff out to our community. But first, just ask you guys what some of your favorite beat 'em ups are, what your kind of memories of the genre are, whether that's arcades or consoles or playing them with siblings or friends. Yeah.
The first one that comes to mind for me is Double Dragon. I rented Double Dragon so many times. Double Dragon 2, because in the original Double Dragon, there was only one player. So my cousin and I would play Double Dragon 2 because you could actually play two players simultaneously, which was a new thing for that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking for... There's this game that I played with some friends relatively recently, on an emulator, and it's on Switch, and I'm trying to... I bet it's on my wish list. Okay, hang on. Come back to me.
Also,
Okay,
Battletoads.
while you're thinking about that, probably the earliest ones for me were, of course, Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo. That's the first console I really played. Turtles in Time, played that a ton with both my older brothers. The other one we had on Super Nintendo, which I don't remember quite as fondly, but still was a good time, was Spider-Man and Venom Separation Anxiety.
Yes.
Which, fun fact, I swear, we actually acquired this game in exchange for Kool-Aid points. Because we drank a lot of Kool-Aid back in the day.
Nice.
If you remember, your packages, your little packets of Kool-Aid had little points, just like you used to have box tops or whatever. You could send them in and get swag, get your Kool-Aid Man hat or whatever. And with enough of them, you could get a couple of Super Nintendo games. And for whatever reason, this was one, at least in our area, that you could redeem enough. And so that's always what I remember about this game now, is like, we got this game because of Kool-Aid.
So I found mine, and the game's called Night Slashers, and on the eShop for the Switch, it's Johnny Turbo's Arcade : Night Slasher. So go look for it that way. So what it is it's set in kind of like a Castlevania, like monsters, like you fight like Frankenstein and zombies and vampires and witches and bats, and that it's all spooky stuff. And so there are three characters. It's 3-player. The three characters you play as is, there's like a superhero with robotic arms. There's like a gangster guy in a suit. And then there's like a woman magician lady runner ninja girl thing. I don't really understand any of that. What I do know is that this game is bananas. It's super fun. Tons of enemies on screen, like crazy stuff you can do, moves you can do, like limit break style, like power up, like kill everyone on screen moves. And we played it at my friend's house when we had a game night. We played it on an emulator, the actual arcade version, not on the Switch. And it was really, really fun. We spent a lot of time with it. And the other arcade game, which is kind of infamous that we played, the other beat 'em up we played was a game called, it was the Alien vs. Predator arcade game, which is a beat 'em up, which is really interesting. There's a bunch of different like Predator characters, and everybody's got like different power-ups and stuff. That one's really, really great. But growing up, it was a lot of Turtles in Time. Just tons of that. That was like the game. Super fun. And I honestly have a hard time remembering almost any other one besides like arcade games, like X-Men Arcade, Simpsons Arcade. And I guess the X-Men Sega Genesis game was a bit of a beat 'em up. It didn't have the like 3/4 view. It had more of a just side scroller view. But there's that, and then on the NES, I did a little bit of River City Ransom, but I didn't get that into that one. Tons of Battletoads, though. Battletoads and Turtles in Time, probably most time spent in a beat 'em up for me. Absolutely. Which, I'm still on the hunt for a Battletoads game for Super Nintendo, and then I really want to get the Game Boy game as well, because I've heard good things.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the other really good ones I didn't play till much later. Streets of Rage 2 is one of my all-time favorites, and I played that on Wii Virtual Console, along with... actually, I think it was on my brother's PlayStation 3. There was some re-release of Final Fight. And those are both, absolutely fantastic. I think Streets of Rage 2 was definitely a favorite. And of course, there was some of those later ones like Scott Pilgrim, which recently came out again, as well as this new stuff like Streets of Rage 4. I would honestly go so far to say Streets of Rage 4 is probably the best beat 'em up right now.
River City
Turtles
Girls
is better because Turtles, but I think as pure mechanically, it's really satisfying to go for a high score in Streets of Rage 4. I think everything comes together really well with that. And then there's also all the stuff on the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. Which I got on the Switch, which obviously that has Final Fight, Knights of the Round, and the stuff you'd expect, but also some of the more obscure stuff like Armored Warriors, and especially one which I think became a new favorite for me is Battle Circuit, because that game is just absolutely so... It just revels in being as weird as it can be. Like
Battle Circuit is good.
Yeah, like you can play as, this little girl riding a giant pink ostrich with an eye patch. And that's just one of the characters. You got like an alien plant monster, like this cat lady. And then the boss of the first level is an Elvis impersonator in space. Like it's just, it's great. And it's actually got a really interesting upgrade system too, where you basically have the ability to like buy new moves as you progress through the game. So it's really cool. I definitely recommend Battle Circuit to anybody that's got that bundle or was looking at that bundle. Don't sleep on that. Don't just play Final Fight.
Knights of the Round. Let me plug Knights of the Round really quick. We had it back when I had my whole collection. Adam and I would play it a little bit. Pretty fun, just like anytime you throw a beat 'em up at like a unique like setting or anything like that, I'm really into it, and so it just holds up. I think it's a really good one, Knights of the Round. So definitely check that out on the beat 'em up bundle as well.
We can't talk beat 'em ups without mentioning, Captain America and the Avengers.
I've never played that one.
You can play it on Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo, both very good. I mean, I even played it in arcades when I was a kid. And then also, surprisingly, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game is a pretty competent beat 'em up for the time.
Yeah. Nobody has mentioned Golden Axe yet.
Yeah, let's not.
So there's something else I wanted to bring up, which is this trend on the Dreamcast and arcades at the time where it's not strictly a 2D beat 'em up, but it's almost like this top-down 3D arena fighter type deal, but it has a lot of characteristics of a beat 'em up. And I'm thinking of games like your Power Stone, your Cannon Spike, stuff like that, which... Again, like, I don't know that this is the right kind of discussion, because those are kind of like party fighters in a way.
Yeah.
But Cannon Spike more fits into the category of a beat 'em up because it's got like a story and it, like, the level moves with you. You move with the level. It's just more of a top-down 3/4 3D view and not like a side scroller type. But you can be Mega Man, so that's cool.
I mean, beat 'em ups have always shared a lot in common with fighting games. I mean, that's why we see like Final Fight was billed as this is the next Street Fighter.
Yep.
Initially, and it kind of became its own thing later on, and we even see that with the Turtles. I mean, Turtles 5, after Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, Turtles 5 was Tournament Fighters, which was a fighting game.
Yeah.
They've always been close, and a lot of websites or digital storefronts or whatever will bundle them together as the same genre of fighting game, and that always kind of bothers me. But you have to admit, like, yes, like, there is some sense to that. It's just they are very different experiences at the end of the day. One's a cooperative players against the level, and the other is a one-on-one player versus player.
What was the name of Final Fight going to be? It was going to be Street Fighter,
like Street Fighter 2089 or something.
Yeah, 2089. Yeah, something like that.
Well, wait, that is a game though. 2089 is an NES game. That's like a
it was Street Fighter something.
That's funny.
It was. I think
Street Fighter Final Fight was like the subtitle to it.
Yep.
And then it just became Final Fight.
Yeah, they ended up dropping the Street Fighter characters out and just creating a whole totally different game.
And then the Final Fight characters eventually showed up in Street Fighter Alpha.
Yep. It went full circle, came back around.
Capcom.
Which is actually how I got interested, because before I'd ever played Final Fight, I played Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I loved playing as Guy.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about, like, Konami being kind of the kings of beat 'em ups, like early beat 'em ups. Never really ventured into fighting games all that much.
No, not really.
I guess Turtles 5 didn't do well enough.
I guess not. Like, yeah, I mean, that's what I was like, man, what did they do? Any fighting games?
Pretty good fighting game.
I'm sure Konami has a couple fighting games out there. I can't think of them off the top. We've got to, right?
That's what I'm looking up. We'll see.
All right. John's looking it up.
Martial Champion.
Never heard of it.
It's definitely a Street Fighter clone. Came out in 93. Just trying to see if it came out anywhere other than Japan. It has to have. Yeah. Here we go. It takes a very, it borrows a lot from Street Fighter's artistic style. You can tell just by looking at it. Never released outside of Japan, I don't think. Arcade game. Came out on the PC Engine as well.
Oh.
But Konami fighting game. And then they had Castlevania Judgment for the Wii.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
less said about that, the better.
Yeah, not great either.
So weird. Why? Who looked at Castlevania and said, fighting game?
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of like I don't see anything that would have been in the US. Like,
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
We also have some community input, so we can take turns reading these, so none of us gets too tongue-tied or tired.
Fatigued.
I'll take the first one. Our very own Octorok says, my 3 favorite non-TMNT beat-em-ups are The Simpsons arcade game, Battletoads, and River City Ransom. The Simpsons may actually beat out TMNT for me as far as the 4-player arcade experience goes. Just such a hilarious and well-crafted game. Battletoads speaks for itself. I'm not sure if it's a full-blown beat-em-up because of the platforming and speeder bike levels, but they teamed up with Double Dragon, so that's got to say something. And River City Ransom is probably the only oddball here, a great semi-obscure NES game that thankfully a lot of people are now aware of thanks to River City Girls. One of my favorite NES titles, and up there with Battletoads for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean Simpsons.
Yeah, how did we forget about Simpsons?
We did. I said it earlier, but we didn't really talk about it.
Oh yeah, we didn't set it aside.
It's like, why is it so good? Like, why even? It just nailed like the character. All the characters are different, and like you could do combos with different characters, and yeah, it just works. I mean, like. It was like the perfect arcade, right? You go in, you see The Simpsons, you're like, oh, I love Simpsons. And then you play it, and you're like, oh, this is good. And it had
totally makes sense.
The balloon blowing up mini games, and I mean, it's a great game. Put it on Switch.
John, do you want to take the next comment from Well-Read Mage?
Yes.
Or are you still looking for...
No, I've got it.
Okay.
The Well-Read Mage says Shredder's Revenge is amazing. Yeah, I think that's what he says. So good. A beat 'em up nobody gives enough love to is Fight and Rage, which is seriously amazing. That's one that I've been meaning to pick up, and I haven't yet. Have you seen that, Sam?
I had not heard of Fight and Rage.
Where is it on Switch?
It's on Switch, yeah. It's a newer game. But it's a throwback to old school beat 'em ups.
Cool. I'll do the next one.
Looks cool.
LDP, another host of the Retro Groove podcast. Good old Liam. He says, mine has to be Batman Returns for the SNES. I love the grabbing and throwing mechanics, breaking parts of the environment, and the bat gadgets you could employ. The sprite art was gorgeous, and while I hadn't even seen the movie at that point, I loved the characters.
Yeah, this game it was really awesome for the throwing and stuff. Like you could grab 2 enemies at once and throw them. It was amazing at the time.
Who made that? Who made this game?
That is a good question.
Because I keep hearing about the. I keep hearing about it, but I'm not. Let's see here.
I haven't actually played this.
Yeah.
Developed
Konami.
by Aspect and Konami.
Yeah, of course.
Konami. Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, Aspect was the Game Gear and Master System ports. Yeah,
which
Konami,
different.
NES and SNES.
Yeah, Konami was the good ones.
Yeah, as he was talking about, the Sega Genesis game and probably the Game Gear version were platformers and not beat 'em ups.
Very cool.
Totally different game.
Yep.
So weird how they used to do that. Okay, well, our friend Seth, $2 Hero, says, for me, it's Scott Pilgrim. It's not the most mechanically dense beat-em-up, but I've come to realize that I prefer the River City Ransom approach of simpler gameplay, but a more fleshed-out world with characters, shops, etc. Paul Robertson's artwork is gorgeous, and the soundtrack by Anna Monoguchi is among the greatest in video game history, full stop.
This is one that I own on Switch now that I just have not fired up yet. I got to get to it.
I pretty much played through it once, and that's about it. I mean, obviously, I played through it multiple times back on my brother's PlayStation 3, but...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I haven't had a whole lot of time with it on Switch.
I think I still have this game on my PS3, which might make... Well, before it re-released, would have made my PS3 pretty valuable, probably.
Yeah.
Since you couldn't get it before now, but now it's not worth anything because they re-released it. But no, Scott Pilgrim is definitely its simplicity makes it one that's easy to get into, and a little bit harder to master as you're going. But it's one that my son and I have played before, and it's he's good enough he can play. But there's definitely some things that you get going and you have to learn later on down the road. Mm-hmm. But he's spot on with the music. It's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely need to fire that one up soon.
All right. So Crazy Greek Dre, excuse me, says Turtles in Time, Final Fight, both Super Nintendo and the TMNT arcade game for the NES. All three of those are fantastic.
Man, Turtles in Time, so good.
Yeah, Turtles in Time was just like the perfect sequel to the arcade game. Like they just upped the ante on every aspect of it and just fleshed it out perfectly.
Yeah,
for sure. Chris HL94 says, I'll vouch for the Streets of Rage series. My favorite is Streets of Rage 2, but I like them all. The sequel on the Nintendo Switch is great as well. That's 4, right, on the Switch?
Yes.
Yeah, another game that I own that I haven't fired up yet. I probably should have played some beat-em-ups before.
Where's Streets of Rage 3 at? What console did it come out?
It's also the Genesis.
Also Genesis?
I believe.
Okay. Because I have 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's Genesis. I have it on the collection.
Oh, nice. So I guess
if
I do have it.
If I remember correctly, 3 is kind of expensive. It was like very late.
So I guess I own all of the Streets of Rage games. I just didn't know it. I forgot that it was on the collection.
Assuming it's on your collection. I mean, I have the Steam version, which does have a couple games that didn't make it to the other Genesis Classics bundles.
I'm not sure.
Like the Steam version has Sonic 3.
Oh, nice.
And Knuckles.
But brag about it.
I'm still not. It's still Sonic, so I'm not going to play it. But whatever.
I mean, I guess technically I own Sonic 3 on Genesis, so I don't need it in the collection.
We don't have to talk about Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog here, guys. We can just move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's all wore out from the new Sonic game and all the stuff that's going on there.
So Solo something says Narc. I can still see it in the arcade when closing my eyes. That's quite an impression.
Yes. Narc was interesting. It was a pretty good beat 'em up.
I don't think I played that one.
I have not played that one either. There's quite a few, especially when it comes to arcade games that didn't get ports.
Yeah,
I didn't have a lot of arcades to go to.
I'm trying to look and see if it's on anything else, but yeah, definitely remember it in the arcades. So it was a 1988 run and gun arcade game. Mm-hmm. So it's not. I mean, it's so similar to beat 'em up type gameplay. That came out on the Amiga, which good luck. Atari ST, Commodore 64, Spectrum got it, and NES. There we go.
Yeah, I've seen the NES cartridge.
There we go. Yep. Also re-released on Xbox and PlayStation 2 at some point.
Ooh.
I was wondering if I was trying. Oh, the Nintendo version was developed by Rare.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
There you go.
Published by Acclaim.
I like that.
Okay, so also on the Nintendo version, all the drug references were removed from actual gameplay by Nintendo.
I mean, yeah.
But the game retained all of its violence and gore.
That's refreshing.
Yes.
John, you want to read Spider-Shan?
Yes. Also, I want to note that had a David Weiss soundtrack on the NES.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Got the full, I might have to pick that game up now. Spider-Shan says, the TMNT games are easy favorites, but I have a couple others that are right up there for me. the first X-Men 4-player arcade game. So many quarters with my friends at the small pizza joint in our town that had this cabinet. The second game that I want to shout out is Death and the Return of Superman on Super Nintendo. This was a pretty great adaptation of the comic event and allowed you to play as all the various Supermen at the time. Superman, Superboy, Cyborg, Superman, and Eradicator. He says, I lost track of the amount of times I played through it, wanting to relive the story.
That's cool. I've seen the cartridge, but I didn't really know what it was.
Definitely haven't played that one. I've played the X-Men arcade game.
Cool. Oh, yeah. The X-Men arcade game is one of my
legendary
favorites. Yeah. Gotta be
just that big cabinet that you can get so many people to play at once always stands out.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you can see it.
Was it the 2 TVs in that cabinet too?
Yeah.
And
it's
it
right
had
up there with NBA Jam.
Had like a mirror system, so it pushed the 2 screens right up against each other.
Yep.
It looked like it did. Yeah. That was really cool.
I think there were some different versions of that as well. Like, I think they had the single larger monitor as well. Okay.
Cool. And then we've got Warriors of Wazd, aka the Ambassador. Plug in his new podcast up there in his screen name. He says, I was a big fan of Jaleco's Final Fight knockoff Rival Turf. You could do a code that would let you edit all the bad guys' names. Buttman, Turd Ferguson, Captain Urine, etc.
We just got Rival Turf, didn't we, on the Super
we did.
Nintendo app?
Yeah, a little while ago.
Just got added.
It's not great, but it's there.
It's Rival Turf.
Can you still change the names? That's what I'm curious.
That's the real question. I'm going to have to check that code.
Yep.
And lastly, for a late entry, we have the venerable Eric Plunk. Says, have you heard the good word about Die Hard Arcade? I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it recently on the Sega Saturn. A seemingly endless amount of various weapons, moves, and 3D low-poly charm makes this short but endlessly replayable gem a must-play. The same could be said for its Dreamcast sequel, Dynamite Cop. On a related note, has anyone tried Breakneck City on the Switch? I've been curious about the Die Hard Arcade vibes that it gives. I have not played Breakneck City. I didn't even know about Breakneck City.
Yeah, I haven't played any of these. Now I'm going to go look up Breakneck City.
I think that I remember seeing Die Hard in arcade, but I don't think I ever played it.
As much as I can say. I think I may have seen it played. I think in my case, on a YouTube video somebody captured.
Yeah, I never owned a Saturn, so I definitely didn't play it on Saturn.
Right.
I think I played Dynamite Cop, though, on Dreamcast, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, yeah? Breakneck City looks straight up like Sega Saturn, low poly beat 'em up. It looks pretty interesting.
How much is it?
That's such a good question, John. Thank you for asking. I will tell you exactly how much it costs in a matter of moments. But I currently am actually looking it up, so I can't. $10.
Okay. I thought you were on the site.
No, I was on YouTube.
Oh.
But I got there quickly. You couldn't tell that I was looking it up while I was talking.
That's definitely got to be worth $10 to try out. There's no demo, is there?
It looks pretty silly. No demo. It looks pretty silly. It looks like some dumb fun.
And that's all of our community comments. So any closing thoughts on beat 'em ups? When are we going to get that Arcade Archives port of Ninja Baseball Batman?
Yes, that's what I'm waiting on too.
Let's get Dynamite Ducks out here. Come on, guys. I think Shredder's Revenge is such a culmination of so many great beat 'em up like tropes and styles. I mean, it's 6-player. on one console. It has online. It's got like a charge up system. It's got like a really quick turnaround, so you can be fighting two guys on either side of you at the same time. Grabs and throws. Really, really like incredibly reminiscent of Turtles in Time. Like it's kind of like the Sonic Mania of Sonic the Hedgehog, as like Turtles in Times is to this, but like they took it even further.
How do you feel about the announcement that there will be no DLC for this game? Like, I feel like that's a total miss. Like, I'd pay a couple dollars like for another character, or like.
It's kind of weird that they would even announce that.
I mean, I mostly just want more stages. Really, I mean, characters would be nice, but I don't know. Like,
who else
if
would
Casey
you
wasn't in there, I'd be asking for Casey. I mean, you could do some deep cuts, and I'd enjoy that, but I don't feel like it's
where's
necessary.
Gecko at?
Usagi Yojimbo or Fugitoid.
There's all kinds of cool characters they could throw in there.
There's definitely ones they could add.
Sets.
Casey was the one that I was like, they better like do DLC if he's not in it, you know.
Yeah.
But
they could have. I mean, Metalhead's a bad guy in there, but they could have made him a playable character.
So that's one of the things that I wish they did more of, was allow. Almost do like a Lego Star Wars type thing where it's like, oh, when you beat a boss, now you can beat the game as that boss.
That would be cool too.
You imagine like running around as Bebop and Rocksteady or whatever. I mean, in all honesty, they could just do a sequel and be like, now you get to be the bad guys, and I'd be just as happy with that. So this is like a games as a service.
I want to play as the Toads.
Right.
The Punk Frogs, Napoleon, and like, I wanted to play as those guys, and then I seen they were like kind of support characters. I was like, man,
give me a 3/4 view Pikmin style game as Rat King. Let's go.
Yeah, Rat King's pretty. That would be pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
Rat King was actually he was like
even fight. He just
in tournament fighters. They made him into like the Zangief, and he was kind of OP. He had throws that would do like half your health.
Whoa.
He was a boss character, so he was intentionally overpowered.
Just his idea is pretty cool. Like, you could definitely do like a Pikmin game where like you send out rats to collect stuff. I could see it.
I'm about it. Let's go. The whole turtle beat 'em up world has been broken open. We gotta keep it going.
It does seem like we're kind of in a beat 'em up resurgence for sure. You know, with like the re-release of Scott Pilgrim, you got stuff like Streets of Rage 4, you got the new Turtles game,
River City Girls, like mentioned earlier.
River City Girls too. Like,
heck yeah, there's
a lot of high quality beat 'em ups getting pushed out, and they're being given a lot of polish too, which shows that, you know, they're being treated like these are important games. These aren't just cash grabs.
I really appreciate Shredder's Revenge giving me an easy option so that I can like get through the story once before I try to beat my head against the wall like in the original Turtles arcade game.
I started on hard mode because I was like, this can't be that hard. And I got a game over in the first level, and I was like, okay. We're going to drop it down.
There's definitely a range of challenge there, because story mode gives you those challenges that involve clearing levels without ever getting hit.
Yep.
I did the first stage. I cleared that one, but there's another one for stage 3, and that one's giving me a very hard time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those ones are for people that have way too much time to put into this game. Yeah, dude on hard now.
I like how different all the characters feel as well. That was a really good move on their part.
I mean,
Turtles in Time doesn't do that to quite the same degree.
It's easy to use the same animations for all 4 turtles. You just swap out the color of the headband and the weapon they're holding. But no, each turtle has their own animations for just about everything.
Michelangelo, I think, wins the day. Just silly and just flailing around, and he's quick too. So he's my favorite so far.
I keep hearing everybody screaming out that April is their favorite.
Really? I haven't tried her yet.
So I actually really like Leo in this game. He's part of it is he has the best like double jump attack. Instead of like slowly falling while swinging periodically, he just goes into like a full spin with his swords out.
That's great.
So it's very good for those stages with lots of flying enemies.
Awesome.
Yeah, those ones are annoying.
Sweet. Well, good deal, guys. We don't have a community couch tonight. Just aren't getting questions from you guys.
Somebody sold it.
Send us some questions. No. Did you guys put it on the curb?
Yeah, I sold it on Mercari for $10.
We spilled all our beverages on it. Now it's all gross and stained.
Gotta get a new couch. Yeah, I'll go to IKEA next week, pick one up. But this is how we do our podcast. So thanks for listening to the RetroLogic podcast. We are proudly part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. If you like what you hear, check me out on Twitter and Instagram at RetroLogic Games. You're also welcome to jump into our friendly and 100% non-toxic Discord community. The link to that is in my Twitter bio. You can also find everything related to RetroLogic at our website, retrologic.games. Yep. That's the deal. Come hang out.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, dudes. See you next week. Nope. No, I won't. Let's go.
See you in 2 weeks.
So
Next
used
podcast.
to saying next week. See you next podcast. That's what I'll say. That's what I'm going to say from now on. See you next podcast. Really rolls off the tongue. All right. See you later, guys.
Bye now.
Goodbye.